Another very important thing, when this Vachati thing occurred, this was I think 1992, mid 1992, we were all active by then, and I still recall, Maithili Papa going there, and in the next state committee meeting reporting about, the women there, how they had been humiliated and also physically abused, molested, raped, etc. And one of the first things that Maithili did was she documented the incident. She spoke to the women and she prepared written documents, and on that basis she prepared the letter which was addressed to Bhamati. Bhamati at that time was the she was in that SCST, National SCST Commission, and it was Maithili's letter which brought out this gender angle about how the girls, young girls, 13 years, 15, 16 years, how those tribal girls, you see, because the men ran away and leaving the girls and the women over there to face these forest officials and all that, and therefore this sort of abduction and rape that occurred, this was actually brought out by the written document prepared and also submitted to the this SCST National Commission. So this whole thing of fact finding as a way of intervention and of ensuring that the government structures would also have to respond to the call for justice. This is something also that she managed to sort of bring onto the agenda of the women's organization over there.
So this struggle for justice seems to have been very much a part of...
Very much. Another thing about Maithili, she felt outraged by things that were happening to the most disadvantaged and marginalized sections. And that was one of the most inspiring things I think found about her. Totally, she would do it in a very militant way, but at the same time extremely inspiring. And Maithili, by being able to do this and by being able to document and write about it, her writing resonated. You see, she was one of the people whose writings would appear in papers like the Hindu, like mainstream media, one of the very few writers of the left whose writings appeared in the mainstream media. And she had an appeal across political definitions, because so I think of her, I remember her, I still believe that she was one of the main persons who inspired me to sort of do so much work in the women's movement. And I would even go further and say that today, if one is representing the voice of women from across in so many ways, the struggles of women, the fight that women are putting up, the resistance that women are putting up, if this I am able to do in some way at the national level, I would say that it owes a lot to Maithili. In her heyday, when she spoke, there was another thing that she always used to do, which also I have learnt a lot from. She always came prepared, and in that preparation of the information, she would be so up to date with what is happening, but she would also be able to put it in a way that it reached out to the large sections of the audience. That communication that she had, and at the same time the fact that she was delivering an information, a message, that was a remarkable combination. And Maithili used to speak. She had a kind of a fan following, people used to come to listen to what she had to say, and she would say it so well that everybody would sort of get convinced, and we used to be able to go forward with that. Even in terms of leadership within the organization, she never occupied the leading post in the organization. She was never, for example, she was never the General Secretary of Tamil Nadu, which one would have thought would inevitably follow, because next to Papa Ummanath, she was the next big leader over there. But she never became the General Secretary. In fact, after Papa Ummanath, I was the General Secretary, and she was the person who pushed it, saying younger people have to come to the fore and they have to sort of build up the organization. New things are happening, new developments, we are there to assist. See, this particular thing of enabling others of getting the movement to grow, but playing that role of guiding, assisting in whatever way. This is also something that one had to learn from her, that you do not have to be in a post, it does not matter. She was only vice president then, but she used to play such a role in bringing in all these new people, new thoughts, new ideas, put it together. So, all these activists who developed, so many young activists we used to have in Tamil Nadu, and that was also something that she very consciously played a role without even realizing it perhaps, but she did that.